Welcome back to Remove Before Race. We're here at IAA, Frankfurt International Motor Show. And to begin, here's an awesome surprise we had minutes before the AMG hypercar was unveiled. To our amazement, Mercedes had displayed some Remove Before Race content and bits from my Instagram on their big screens. It was very humbling and we're truly honoured for the recognition. Right, enough gushing, back to the subject at hand. So here we are just walking around the Mercedes stand and the AMG stand. Got the Magna White S63 cab there and a bunch of other things. But what we're really here today for is standing over there. So let's go and check out the AMG hypercar. And there it is, AMG's new Project One hypercar. But wait, why does it look like that? Let's rewind a second and get the premise right. If you're expecting a mid-engine hardcore AMG GTR looking thing, that's not what this was ever meant to be. This is Mercedes-AMG's F1 car for the road, and everything, absolutely everything that's gone into this car follows from that singular focus. In reality, this is an MOT-compliant Mercedes-AMG Formula One car. Now that you understand the premise, let's talk about that much-debated design. Form follows function, and perhaps this has never been so core to the creation of a road car than in the AMG Project One. Gordon Wagner, Mercedes-Benz Chief of Design, said that in the Project One, every part has a specific purpose. It combines our design philosophy of sensual purity with the performance of our Formula One racing cars. And he's right, that front nose looks familiar, and it should, as it mimics the F1 nose right down to the identically hand-painted Mercedes star. But there are very AMG elements there too, with the modern AMG A-wing with the AMG logo, and those side vents look familiar, almost identical in shape to what you see on an AMG A45. There is an automatically extending front splitter on the front too to exert downforce, and those panels that you see on the arches are active ventilation louvres. The huge black carbon fibre surfaces dominating the sides are also from motorsport, redirecting airflow all around the car. But the side profile is truly dominated by the huge F1 designed intake and shark fin. See the Petronas green design on the side flank? Yep. Also hand painted by the artist who designed the paintwork for the Formula One car. The gigantic two-section diffuser on the rear reminds me of the AMG GTR and the diffusers in the AMG DTM cars. That central exhaust tailpipe with two smaller exhausts is adopted directly from the Formula One cars, but is reminiscent of the AMG GTR too. The separate panel on the rear end is actually a humongous two-stage extendable rear aerofoil, with the AMG logo transcribed under the spoiler. But one of my favourite details are the lights. Both front and rear lights feature rhomboid shaped designs, mimicking the shapes used in the AMG logo, and have AMG branding inside just like the AMG GT series. The little black Mercedes star on the rear is just like the ones we have on our modern Mercedes bonnets. A nice link for all you MB owners. My favourite part, however, are the simply lickable 10-spoke forged aluminium wheels. Staggered in 1920s, the design is like the SLS AMG, but with added giant center lock. The radius of the wheel has carbon fiber semi-covers. This is an aerodynamically sophisticated shape which improves the car's airflow around the wheels. There are also 3 ventilation slots per spoke section to release heat from the brakes. If that wasn't enough, it's on our favourite tyre, Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2. The carbon ceramics are in the same paint and design as the series production AMG flagships. Next, that stunning interior. Mercedes says it's Formula One for two. Again, nothing is included just for aesthetics, everything points toward the driver. The bucket seats are integrated into the car's carbon tub and have adjustable backrests only. The pedals and steering wheel, however, are adjustable with the red levers you see to get the optimum driving position. and the door release is the silver handle next to the seats on the floor. The backrest design is very AMG bucket seat, which is a nice link, and everything is also black nappa, yellow stitching and Dynamica, linking to the current AMG series editions. The start-stop button sits in the middle of the interior. Under this are the standard interior buttons and a stowage compartment with a transparent lid. AMG as always kept everyday use in mind. There are two storage compartments behind the seats. The car has air conditioning and power windows and comes with MB's command system. The rear view mirror is replaced for the first time by a screen showing real-time video from a camera at the rear. And now most important, that steering wheel. Look familiar? It should. Yep, F1 shape again, and even the gear change lights. But with plenty of modern Mercedes too. The wheel commands are from the new touch setup from the S-Class facelift, due to be put into all other Mercedes soon. The F1 style colour buttons are high beams, DRS, boost and neutral gear, and drive is selected by pulling the paddles. Lower down you have manual mode, ESP off, and you may notice what looks like a 9-stage traction control dial like in the GTR. But this is actually a screen which changes based on what the driver is doing, like switching the driving modes for example. The doors are scissor hinged, which brings me neatly to my final point on design. Forget your McLaren F1 comparisons. The Project One is a dead ringer of the legendary limited edition CLK GTR, aka the Unicorn. That link to Mercedes sports car history is the cherry on top for me. That sums up design, but we need to hear what AMGs sound like. And as you guessed, sounds like a Mercedes F1 car. Surprise! Now on to power. To speak of the drivetrain though, we must start with the F1 car as our basis. The basic mid-engine structure and position of components remain largely unchanged from the F1 car. The star of the show is the EQ Power Plus F1 engine developed by Mercedes-AMG high-performance powertrains in Brixworth in the UK. It is a 1.6 litre V6 turbocharged engine coming directly from the 2015 F1 car. Attached directly to the engine's turbo is the first of 4 electric motors, F1 codename MGUH. The second, MGUK, is directly attached to the engine and crankcase. The lithium-ion batteries arrangement and the cooling system are the same as the Formula 1 racer and sit behind the front axle, where we find the final 2 electric motors which allow for individual acceleration, braking and thus torque vectoring on the front end. So what does it all mean for performance? Well, that engine revs to an insane 11,000 RPM and produces 1,000 brake horsepower. So the Project One hits 200 km per hour in under 6 seconds using launch control. The car features a lightweight carbon fibre tub from Formula 1, and the suspension is a multi-link coilover suspension on the front and rear, giving dynamic handling without losing comfort. Despite the complexity of the car, AMG were keen that it just work as a point-and-go car. As with any AMG then, the driver gets the usual choice of driving modes, selectable from the digital knob on the wheel, from pure EV mode up to highly dynamic mode, which is taken from settings used in Formula 1 lap time qualifying. Regardless of the mode, the driver is given the ideal combination of performance and efficiency depending on how they are actually driving. So you could start on front wheel EV mode, but push your left foot or flick the paddle of the custom 8-speed gearbox, and the V6 engine switches on and the system lets loose its full power. Let off again and it'll settle back into EV and recoup up to 80% braking energy to the battery. The best bit? Due to the hybrid setup, turbo lag is non-existent, and AMG claim a response time quicker than that of a naturally aspirated V8 engine. The actual deliveries of Project One won't happen for a few years, but the effects of this project will be felt sooner, as you can expect this car to be the blueprint for AMG's drivetrains going into the future, starting with the 4-door AMG GT and the new A45. Well, that's our preview of the Project One done. If you learnt something or enjoyed it, please do like and share. We sincerely hope it's not the last time you'll see the Project One at Remove Before Race, as it's truly a marvel to behold. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Next time on Remove Before Race. Next week we are off to the mega AMG Road Trip 2017 to Affaltava, the home of AMG. We'll be going in our GTC Edition 50, and a surprise convoy is coming along. There we'll show you the new AMG showroom, meet legendary engine builder Michael Kubler, and share a few more exclusives with you. So subscribe now to see it first, and follow us on Instagram for daily behind the scenes.